Before I attended Streetfront, my life was desolate, depressing. I was moving from foster home to foster home, and I really hated myself, and I really hated everything. I wasn't a very happy kid. I didn't really have compassion. I was really self-destructive, just kind of self-mutilated, and hid myself from everyone and everything. It was incredibly difficult to think about the future because it just seemed dark, and I didn't even know if I would have a future. I didn't even think I'd finish high school. Streetfront's an alternative school in the downtown east side Vancouver, based out of Britannia Secondary School. After attending Streetfront, I enjoyed being at school and going to school and talking to other students, and I really just kind of enjoyed being myself, which was a huge step for me. Never felt that way before, and just feeling like the world wasn't such a horrible place. And they run 3 times a week, and they're the only school in North America that does marathons, and they're crazy.
So we try to be a real physical model. We have mandatory 3 runs per week. We have daily phys ed classes.
Trevor Stokes, the teacher at Streetfront and the one that runs with all the students for the marathons, is one of the most amazing people I think I've ever met in my entire life. He was the one that gave me confidence, that taught me work ethic, that helped me really cut out all the negative, bad things in my life and change them into good. I remember me and Trevor were running together and we were having such a great conversation, and I didn't want to stop talking to him. So I continued running, and I got to the 7-kilometer mark, and I was puking, and I'm like, Trevor, I can't do this. And he said, yes, you can, because you're doing it. And most kids don't do half as much as you're doing right now. You know, most of your friends are probably still in bed hungover, and here you are doing this. When you finish that run, you get this overwhelming feeling of accomplishment, which is something I've never had. And, you know, able to turn that pain into power. And this is a kind of self-inflicting pain that was good for me. And I never did anything that was good for me. You know, to have someone that actually believed in me, to push me and say, Jessie, you can make it. You're almost there. You can do this, was refreshing and truly amazing. And I ran my first full marathon because of my mom. She had passed away. I felt like I had to, and I wanted to do it for her. My mom had overdosed on heroin. And I remember I was actually at a park getting drunk with a bunch of kids. And I get a phone call from my foster mom saying, Jessie, you need to come home. And I said, well, why? You never tell me that. She said, your mother's in the hospital. And I brushed it off because she's always in the hospital from pneumonia and this and that. And I said, well, I'll go see her tomorrow. It's not a big deal. She says, I'm coming to pick you up. You need to come home right now. I get a call from my sister about 5 minutes later. She's crying, she's screaming, she's not making any sense. I can't make out any of her words except when she said they're taking her body away. And that moment literally changed my whole life. I think that she would look at me and also my sister and think, I'm so glad that you're not going to be like me. And the thing is, she was beautiful and intelligent and loving and truly just an amazing person, but she was a drug addict.
For the past 3 years, faculty with Streetfront have been developing a 10-year plan called Street to Peak that will take students on dream adventures. 15 kids, both current and former students of the Streetfront program, are now getting ready to take on Mount Kilimanjaro.
Of course, I wanted to go to Africa and see animals and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's an experience of a lifetime, but I had a deeper reason to wanting to climb this mountain. I really wanted to spread my mom's ashes at the top, and I wanted to take her with me. I wanted to give her that experience too, and it sounds a little silly, but I feel her with me so deeply. Like, I wanted this journey to be our journey, and to also bring her with Streetfront, the school and the group that changed my life. I remember walking down and warm wind blowing onto my face, and I started bawling my eyes out And it was like a dream that had actually come true. I remember there was a point where I wanted to fall to my knees and stop moving. It was cold, it was dark. I was done. I had hit this wall, and I almost felt like someone pushed me from behind. And I remember the porter started singing "You're My Sunshine." And my mom used to sing that song to me when I was a kid. And I couldn't stop. It wasn't even about me getting to the summit. She wanted to get there, and she was pushing me, and she was carrying me, and she brought me there. I didn't bring her. And when I finally made it to the top and I let her go, it was hard because there was a part of me that didn't want to let her go, but I knew it was what was right. And I held my hand up, and the wind literally took her up into the clouds, and it was perfect. It was perfect. I got back from Kilimanjaro. I finished my last year of high school. I got a leadership award and also was chosen to be valedictorian for my school, which was an honor. I also volunteered with a special needs class at John Oliver Secondary School, the remedial class at Henderson Elementary, volunteered at the soup kitchen downtown East Side. I had never volunteered prior, and it was almost addicting. I loved it so much, and meeting kids that were just like me was quite special. And, you know, in my dreams, I'd love to create my own alternative school, similar to Streetfront, and you know, really help kids the way I was helped. And just, you know, I aspire to inspire.
Streetfront's made school fun for me.
Streetfront's gonna help me graduate.
Streetfront's my school.
Streetfront helped me succeed.
I remember the moment that I stepped into Streetfront. I finally found a home, and I had finally found a family that believed in me, and a place where I could believe in myself. It's a school unlike any other. It really is, and it's meant for those kids that have been pushed to the ground, beat down, and told that they're not gonna make it anywhere. And then they go there and they make it.